Hello everyone, my name is Mary, and today I have an angel message and tarot card reading for the new moon, which is occurring on Tuesday, December 12th, 2023 at 6:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11:32 a.m. UTC time. So the topic for this new moon, I was guided to pick a card from this deck, the Gift of Virtue Clarity deck, to be the subject of the message. And the subject of the message is proactivity. So really surprising, really, I think, apropos. So I'm going to read the card to you. It says, be the change that you want to see in the world, which is something you've seen on every bumper sticker, every magnet. It's on every, like inspirational post on Facebook, Instagram. It's everywhere. But we're going to dive deeper into this. Also on the card it says anticipating future problems and taking preventative actions before they occur. So proactivity is the subject of today's reading. I also got a channeled message, which I will read to you, and also a couple of visual, inspiring just visuals that I got. I'll tell you about those in a minute. So first, the message: boldly step forward and claim the blessings coming to you. Give generously, love freely, and act as though you already are the enlightened divine being you've been striving to become. Trust and see greater goodness, greater glory, and greater hope in the world than you've ever seen before. Open your eyes to the truth. Awaken and fly. So that is the message. Really bold language. Boldly claim the blessings. Step forward, see it, do it, become it. This is like divine pep talk. I think this new moon is going to be all about daring to plant where it's all about planting seeds. It's a time for planting seeds and setting intentions. But now the intention that we want you to set, says the angels, is the bigger intention. Choose the bigger intention. Choose the bigger office. Go big. Go big with this one. You're going to be stepping into a world on fire with divine light. I think there's a great amount of growth and expansion happening, and I think that despite how hard it's been, we are being guided to just be proactive and think bigger. So the images that I received as I was contemplating and in meditation, receiving this message, was the little kid in school who raises his or her hand before the teacher is even done asking the question, because they're like, whatever it is, I know it. And this isn't just confidence. This is a desire to give him or herself the opportunity to speak, to answer the question, to be seen and to be heard. This isn't just, I know everything. This is the little kid wanting to be heard, Also, another image I got was the idea of on Jeopardy. A lot of times people, as soon as the question is done, they their first instinct is to buzz before they even know the answer, and because they're confident that they know. They're just like, I'll think of the answer, during that little brief time that I have after I've buzzed in. It's like buzzing first and coming up with the answer later. Or on that, what is that? Family Feud, where the two people come up and they, have one hand behind and they're all like ready to go. And so he reads the thing and they both press the button, and then, it's like, okay, now I got to come up with something. It's like, buzz in, raise your hand, step forward. It's, you may not have perfect confidence. You may not really know what the path is, but just set forth on the journey and it will come to you. I have a tarot reading that I have all ready. But one thing I wanted to mention is that just personally, I've been going through, this has just been the worst year. Not the worst year. I've told family this has been the worst year because it's been a very bad year. very hard or very difficult. But maybe it's not the worst now that I think about it. But it's been very hard for me. Started off with the loss of somebody close to me, depression, loneliness, all kinds of things happening, health issues. There's just stuff. I've been through some really hard stuff, and I know that I'm not alone. I know that other people have too, whether it is physical stuff, emotional stuff, mental stuff, a loss of somebody, or a financial setback, or a career setback, whatever it is. I'm sure you've been through some really difficult, like, oh my gosh, this is really huge kind of things. I'm sure there's been a moment along this year that you've been like, wow, this has been. And so for me, this is where I am. I feel like, wow, this has been really hard. And so this new moon message, I think, is very special to me. I'm going to try to, gain as much as I can from it. And I hope that you do too. So without further ado, here we go with the tarot card reading. I think what I'll do is put this card, well, not that you can really see it very well, but there it is. I'll just put it right there. Proactivity. So this is what we're doing, is we're being proactive. We're going to be the change. We're going to be the first. Another thing that I'm thinking of is, like in book club or some sort of like seminar, when the person's like, does anyone have any questions? And nobody talks. And you're like, all right, I'll ask a question, or if it's like, does anyone want to share? And nobody raises their hand, you're like, fine, I'll be the first one. This is being proactive. This is stepping out ahead of the pack. This is having confidence and giving yourself the opportunity to ask for more than ever before. All right, so here we go. Oh my gosh. This is the opposite of proactivity. This is mental rest. So what I'm getting here is very clearly, guys, you don't have to figure it out. There's nothing to figure out. When it comes to what I think the angels and what my spirit guides are saying, is that there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing that you need to, there's nothing really that you need. There's no mental gymnastics. Right now, you're in a place of non-doing, and what I think the energies want us to do is to move into a place of doing, a place of, I'm ready to act, I'm ready to raise my hand, I'm ready to buzz in. Okay. The moon is all about illusions. I think what I'm seeing here is that the message is very clear. We've all been in a place of non-doing because of how weird and scary the world looks. It looks very different than it's ever looked before. Your life may have things you never thought you'd see. Very unexpected things might have popped up for you. And you might be thinking, you might be really hesitant to act because you're like, I can't act until I'm sure. I can't act until I know for sure. And I feel like what we're doing is we're planting the seeds of taking action, of getting ready mentally. Here's a good example. I went to the dentist a couple of days ago for a cleaning, and I need some other work. And she's like, I've got time right now. Let's do it right now. And I'm like, because I need time to mentally prepare for the trauma of going to the dentist. Not that it's very traumatic. It's not terrible work. It's just like, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. So the appointment's in, a couple of days. So it actually might be on this new moon. So who knows? I think it is. So the idea is that even though you may not feel ready, even though it's not going to look like the perfect time, proactivity doesn't feel comfortable sometimes. It feels like acting, not impulsively, but on an inspiration. When the inspiration strikes, it's up to you to act. Oh man, this is tough. We've got the Seven of Swords. So what I'm getting here is that the world, what you don't see in the world, oh man, I just can't help but feel that we've been through so much, that the world has started changing and shifting, and all of us have been just slapped around, by life, by the shifting energies, by, maybe social groups we can't depend on, by family members who've had things happen to them, by all the things that have happened in our lives recently. I feel like we've just been, it's just been so difficult. I'm just getting this very sad energy from this. But what you don't see, so the moon and this card are both telling me that it's not what you think. You may think you can't take action and it's not safe and you're not allowed to do what you want to do. You can't claim your blessings. You can't boldly step forward and claim your best blessings because you won't get them and it's not safe and whatever. It looks like, it doesn't look safe. But what you don't see is that it's all a deception. It's all a deception. It's like the antagonist that you have been fighting is ready to crumble. You don't see that you're about to win. You don't see that the tide is about to turn. You don't see that everything's about to change for you in a positive way. This darkness that we've been fighting appears to be pretty, long lasting. The sun is rising. It's happening. Don't believe the fear that feel the fear, yes. Feel all the emotions, yes. We don't want to push away emotions, but don't hesitate to act or be proactive because of how you see the world. Don't try to assess the world. The world cannot be assessed right now. It's all topsy-turvy. Things are changing, and the truth lies within you, not outside of you. Right. So the angels are saying, look to your own magnificence. You are a magnificent being. You are made of light. You are made of love. You are precious and powerful. And you have, over the course of this past year, integrated a lot of darkness into yourself. It's like the chariot card in the tarot, which has a charioteer, and the driving force for the chariot are two horses or two sphinxes or two energies that are both black and white. So the charioteer harnesses and is able to use the dark and the light. The charioteer can use the victories and the failures. So, for example, like any athlete is able to use her wins and her losses to learn from and to move forward from. Everything is moving you forward, and that's what the Queen of Wands is all about, is this beautiful integration of everything into herself, and she's not ashamed of any of it. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to rely on, is our beautiful, wonderful, radiant selves, and the God spark deep inside, and to see that in everybody else, and to ignore this propaganda of divisiveness and doom and gloom that has been, just shoved down our throats. It's not true. It's just not true. It's okay. It's okay to look at this craziness and say, I can change it. I can be proactive. I can make something happen. It's not impossible. Oh my gosh, perfect. So the devil, for those of you who are not familiar with tarot, the devil is not the actual devil. This is not literal. This is a major arcana card, and the major arcana are all symbolic. So what the devil is symbolic of is your own darkness. And the darkness, your own shadow side, your addictions, your the part of you that you may not be ready to ready to acknowledge. You know, those lower vibrational energies. Lower vibrational energies are like hate and fear and all that stuff. Higher vibrational energies are love and trust. But what I'm getting from this is that very clearly it's in the past position that this darkness that we've been battling in our lives and in the world, and I'm getting very clearly collective human consciousness, that the collective human consciousness has been battling their dark sides for a very long time. Probably, if you're like me, if you're like a lot of people, and comment below if this resonates. If you're like me, you've seen a lot of your weaknesses just flare up in your life, you know, just all parading, you know, down the street one after another, like, hey, look at all your weaknesses, look at all the things you're not good at, look at all the you failed at, look at, you know, all this dark stuff that you're afraid of. If you're like me, then maybe that's happened to you, and if it hasn't, then certainly it's happened in the collective. In the collective, we've seen the worst of ourselves. We've seen that we can hurt one another, be divided over every little thing or big thing, that we've seen that problems that we thought were solved are not. We've seen a lot of the collective shadow. So what this is telling me is that our collective shadow and your personal battle with some darkness is in the past. It's over. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have more work to do. We have tons of work to do. That's why we have to be proactive. It's because we've got to get things done. We've got to make things happen for ourselves in a positive and beautiful way. But just know that it's not how it seems. A great deal of darkness has just fallen away, you know? I'm trying to think of a metaphor. I love metaphors because it's how I learn. And I can't think of one. It's like when it's like a battle where somebody tells you, you know, oh, there's going to be 1,000 troops there, and you show up and there's 10. It's like, so you've been all worried all night, you know, planning, what are we going to do? And then you show up and it's nowhere near as bad as you thought it would be. It's going to be like, wow, it's going to be easier when you step up and boldly claim. When you step forward and boldly claim your blessings, it's going to be much easier than you thought it was. It's just going to take that energy, that little instigation. Oh my gosh. So this is so perfect, because in the Rider-Waite-Smith version, and this is the Wiser Tarot, which is an artist who has taken the Pamela Coleman Smith's drawings and recolored them. It's really a beautiful deck. Because these people are naked, I shouldn't really put them too close to the camera. It's an illustration. They're not really. It's not true to form at all. So, but you can see already that there's a symmetry here, that we have two figures, and they're both, unclothed and vulnerable, But these are vulnerable in a negative way, whereas these two are vulnerable in a positive way. There's also a third figure. Here it's the devil, and here it's an angel, and that is symbolizing their choices. What kind of choices they're making? Who are they placing? Whose advice are they following? In here, they're following the very dark advice of their lower vibration, their lowest selves. Whereas here, they're choosing to follow the advice of the angel, and they're in paradise. And even though there's always the presence of temptation, they're choosing good. And so there's this symmetry here. So what I'm getting is that everything that you think is going to be hard and difficult to do is going to be much easier. All the enemies that you think have been hurting you, or from within, it's going to be a blessing. It's going to turn out to make you stronger. Everything you've been through is going to make you stronger. Everything is going to turn exactly around. It's going to be 180. As all your difficulties, all this darkness is suddenly going to turn into light. Your tears are going to turn into laughter. All your pain is going to turn into dancing. It's the promise. It's the divine promise. And And so this is all just, I think, like it's giving us courage. It's giving us the confidence to be proactive, to stand up and really believe in the best, and to dare to dream bigger dreams for ourselves and each other, to see someone else despite their weaknesses and despite whatever your preconceived notions may be, and to see the best in that person and be like, you can do it. We all can do it. We can build a better world. We can build better lives for ourselves, for our families, and for everyone. It's just going to be okay. We have to believe that this darkness is a deception. It's an illusion. It's in the past. I don't know how they could say, I don't know how the angels could say it more clearly. It's in the past. It's over. It's done. I could go on forever. I really could. So this card represents, we have the Page of Pentacles. Let's take a look. The Page of Pentacles. I'm seeing the vision of a little kid chasing a butterfly, or just some sort of like innocent, fresh, like a brand new notebook page. I love, when I was a kid, one of my favorite things was buying notebooks and a fresh notebook page. And you could put anything on it. You could draw on it. You could write notes to people. You could, whatever. It was just brand new and fresh and wonderful. It's just nothing but innocence and purity and opportunity and potential. That's what I'm getting from this, is that the person that you are becoming right now, the aspect of you that is most active, how we see ourselves, is reborn. That we are new, that we've been made new. We're ready to try something new. We're ready to conquer in a brand new way. Being proactive means believing that even though you've never done this before, you can do it. Maybe you want to be careful about it. Maybe you want to be, Page of Pentacles is more careful page than the other pages, I think, tend to be. He's a little bit more careful. He's a little bit more calculated, but still he's ready to take a step. He's eager. He's eager to please. He's like the kid raising his hand in class. He's like, even if I get it wrong, it's better to raise my hand. Be the first one to raise my hand than not at all. Another Pentacles. So the world needs our presence, needs us to change things. What we don't see, what is very difficult to, I think, assess right now, is how much of an effect your actions will have on the world. Just a little thing, the littlest changes, the littlest thing that you can do to change and to be proactive, even if it's just, in your own life, just how you live your life, or the thought processes you have. Like maybe there's a thought that is just, it's just a nasty little, flea in your mind, and you're just like, I'm gonna attack that flea. It's a little bug of a thought, but it's untrue, and I'm not gonna believe it anymore. Even that is gonna change things. It's gonna shift things. You will have a profound effect on the world. You will shift the world. The whole world will become, different from your proactive approach. So what we want to do is ask ourselves, how can we be proactive? Let's see what the angels have to say. Ace of Swords. Yeah. So what I'm getting is very clearly put to rest. Put to rest your old beliefs and embrace some new ones. It's okay. It's okay to choose a different different color golf ball at your miniature golf. If you always choose the green one because green is your favorite color, and you're like, I'm gonna choose pink this time. It's like try on something different. Try on being different for a day, for a moment. Try it on. Try on this new sense of self, this more enlightened, this more loving, this more compassionate sense of self. Try it on. What does it feel like to be more bold, to be more trusting, to be more loving? What does it feel like? What would it feel like? I think that's what the angel's message is that it's going to feel different, but do it anyway. It's going to be different. Try it. Accept this sword of truth being offered to you, and maybe believe it. One of the things I thought about earlier when I was thinking about this topic of being proactive is that it's not just, being a go-getter. It's being faithful. It's being trusting. It's being having a sense of belief in yourself and in the world. It's this active. It's an active energy that is present in you, even if you may not be doing something. Even if you're just sort of doing nothing, right? Like this card shows. It shows basically just rest and sort of a non-doing place. I think that card is telling us that you don't have to be taking action for you to be a proactive energy in the world, thinking differently, being differently, believing differently, understanding that what you see in the world as this drama that's unfolding in front of us is not what it seems. And all we need to do is believe in this shift right here, that from the devil to the lovers, believing that, you can choose now, and we all are, I think, as a human collective, choosing to listen to the angel. We're choosing to listen to the angels more and more. So listen to them. And whatever new idea they give you, go with it. Run with it. Perfect. This could not be more perfect. This is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is all about moving on from something. And that's where we are. And what I've come to see by looking at other Six of Swords cards that look different from this is that even though this one doesn't look like it's a choice, it is a choice. It's a choice. Yes, you are in a moment of transition, but every moment is your choice whether you want to accept this change or fight it. And you just have to submit and surrender to the change that's happening. Choose that. Choose to be different. Choose to be proactive. Choose to face your fears and, feel the fear, do it anyway. That's on a mug or something I saw once. Feel the fear, do it anyway. This is the moment. This is the moment. So this is the reading. I think it was pretty exciting. As usual, I don't know if I say this enough, but let's go back to the cards. So I don't say this enough, but these are just cards, all right? They're just pieces of paper. See, just a piece of paper with something printed on it. It's not magic. The magic comes from you. The magic comes from within. The magic comes from, your belief. What do you resonate with? What are you going to choose? How are you going to use this? It's like the Chariot card is a great, it's a wonderful way to think about life, because the Chariot card is harnessing the energies of the world. So if you're seeing this, then you're meant to see it, and you're meant to use it in some way. Whether it's, I don't believe that, this is what I believe, or, okay, I take this, I resonate with that, whatever it is. So I hope that whatever I've said was helpful to you. I hope that you can be proactive in some way. And my prayer for you, my prayer for me, and my prayer for all of us is that the angels fill us with so much courage that we can't help but be proactive in our minds, our bodies, and our souls. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you for watching. There's links down below if you want a little bit more of me, or if you want to donate, or if you want a session or whatever. So God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.